Hi everyone, today we are going to see the server-side scripting in ServiceNow. Since server-side scripting is a large volume, I'm going to cover it in parts. The first part we are going to see is the business rule. Before starting with the business rule, let's see the brief introduction of the server-side scripting. Script in ServiceNow falls into two categories. One is the client-side scripting and the other one is the server-side scripting. The client-side scripting are generally written on the client to validate or perform some action for the UI. Examples for the client-side scripting are client script, UI policies, UI scripts, etc. Examples for the server-side scripting are business rule and script include. You will usually write the server-side scripting generally to perform some action on the backend. Server-side script execute on the ServiceNow server or database. Here I have given some use cases for the server-side scripting. Update record fields when a database query runs. Set field values on related records when a record is saved. Determine if a user has specific role. Send email. Compare two dates to determine which comes first chronologically. Calculate the date when the next quarter start. Log messages. Send REST messages and retrieve results. So these are some of the use cases for the server-side scripting. Business rule. Generally speaking, business rules are generally written um, when there is a database interaction, like when you update or when you save or when you submit or when you delete or when you create a new record, you can use the business rule or you can create a new business rule and to perform some action. So business rule respond to database interaction regardless of access method. For example, user interacting with records through forms or list or web services or data. So whatever may be the method, if there is a database interaction, you can use the business rule. So now let's see how to create a business rule in the ServiceNow. Go to your ServiceNow instance and just type for business rule in the left navigator. So open the one under the system definition. If you open that, you can see the list of all the business rules that are in your instance configured for the available tables. So if you want to create a new business rule, just click on new button. Once you click on that, you can see the fields that are needed to create a business rule. So name, you need to fill the name for the business rule and you need to select the table in which you want to run the business rule. And if you want to do the scripting on the business rule, then you need to check this checkbox advanced, and once you check this, you can see this third tab will appear. If you uncheck this, you can see only two tabs. So the first tab is when to run. Here you need to specify when should the business rule run. There are four types actually. The first type is before, the second type is after, third type is async, and the fourth type is display. Before is nothing but before the form actually getting saved to the database. If you want to do some action or if you want to do some if you want to make some changes, then you can use the before business rule. After is nothing but if you after the changes are saved to the database, if you want to do some action, then you can use the after business rule. Generally, after business rules are used to update the related records or to create a new related record or to create any new record that is relevant to the table that you have selected. And if you want to do those changes after the database save, then you can use the after business rule. async works in the same way, but after will run in the foreground, but async will create a scheduled job and then it will execute that action in the backend. Display business rule is nothing but if you want to pass some action from the database to the client or the UI, then you can use the display business rule. So now I'll just use, now we can, I think we can take the before business rule as an example and select the database interaction in which you want to uh, run the business rule. For example, you can select insert if you are creating any new record, and then if you want to perform any action, then you can use the insert. So this business, suppose if the insert is selected, and here if I select the table as incident, then it simply means whenever the record is created in the incident table, this business rule will run. If I choose update, this business rule will run for both update and insert. So when a record is created or when a record is updated on the incident table, then the business rule will run, and it will run before the changes are actually getting saved to the database. And here I can put the condition like I can put the condition like assignment group is analytics settings manager. So this business rule, I'll give some name, random name. So the business rule random name will run on the type when type as before on insert and update if the assignment group is analytics settings manager. Then in the action tab I can perform the action. I can set any values. For example, I can set the short description to test. You can set any field values here in the action tab, and you can also add messages, something like assignment group is changed. Assignment group is the and assignment group is this, something like that. You can add some messages to the add message tab, and if you want to abort action, if you want to stop the action, if you want to stop the database, if you want to stop the record actually, if the record is saved on the database, if you want to prevent that, then you can just click on abort action. It's just simply prevent that database action. It won't allow the system to save it in the database, just abort it. And in the advanced condition, you can put the condition and you can write the scripts. This condition will behave same as the filter condition, but filter condition you just need to select it, but here you just need to write the condition for something like this. Current dot short description or current dot assignment group dot name equal to So you can either write the condition like this or like this. You can add the condition in the filter condition, or you can add the condition in the condition tab. And you can also add the condition in the script tab just by writing the if condition. Just copy this. You can, this is one more way of writing the condition. So you can add the condition in three ways. One is through the filter condition, and the other one is through the condition tab, and the other one is directly writing the condition in the script tab. I have actually created one business rule for your reference. This is the business rule I created. Name is acknowledge the incident, and when to run is before, and of before update, and assign to is me. This condition is nothing but if the assigned to person is the current logged in user, the current user, and if the current user is assigning the incident to himself or herself, then this message will be displayed to the user. Simple business rule. Now let's see how it's working. So I'm going to test this. Now it's empty. Now it's unassigned. Now if I assign the incident to, so I'm the system administrator and I'm assigning the incident to myself. Now let's see what's happening. So it's displaying these three messages because I have written three info messages. So here in the business rule you can see current and previous. So current is nothing but it will give you the current is nothing but values as they exist in the runtime environment. Previous is nothing but values for the record field where they were loaded from the database and before any changes were made. So current will give you the runtime value and previous will be the values that were before the changes were made. So here I can show you that as an example. So here previously the assigned to value was empty, so previous assigned is showing as empty and the current assigned is showing as system administrator. Now if I change this to someone else now, and if I save this, and if I again assign it to myself, you can see the current assigned is system administrator, previous assigned is Anthony Aldis, and the third message. So current will give you the runtime value and previous will give you the value that were previously there. And gs.info add info message is nothing but it will just print you the, it's just one way of printing the message through the script with the help of script. Gs is nothing but it's an API that is available in the OOB. So you can use this API you can use this API to add the error message or info message, or you can add message. You can also perform some date validation with this GS. So these are all the API that you can use. OOB API, out of box API that are provided by ServiceNow. You can use it for the scripting. If you don't want to script, it's no problem. You can also do this same thing just by adding the message here. You can add the message here, and you have assigned the incident to yourself. Save. Now if I remove this and if I add this, it's showing me 4 messages because I erased the messages in the scripted app. I need to erase it. I need to go to that business rule. To clear these messages. You can see the message. It's displaying only one message and it is showing from the business rule. Now you can see there is no messages in the script. It's just a one single message from the actions tab, and it's displaying the message here. So this is simple business rule. So I created a business rule with name, acknowledge the incident, and I have selected the table as incident, and the when to run condition I have chosen when type as before, and update as one of the database interaction, and order as 100, filter condition, role condition. I have not added any roles. So role condition is nothing but you can, if you put a role like ITL and only if the user matches that role condition, like if you add a role like admin, and if the user has the admin role, then only this business rule will run, otherwise it won't run, otherwise it won't execute. If the user is an ITL user and the user is not having that admin access, then the business rule won't run. So an order is nothing but if you have multiple business rule, then the business rule will run in the ascending order. One with the lowest order will run first and one with the highest order will run last. Now let's see. So dot walking. So dot walking is one of the important concept in business rule. So you can dot walk just by using this toggle script tree. In the script tab, you can find the toggle script tree. If you check this, it will open you the following things. You can see fields, glide record, glide element, system date time, system login, glide aggregate. This can be helpful where if you are coding. If you want to do the scripting in the business rule, you can use this, and you can, if you want to dot walk, you can click on the field and open the field that you want to dot walk. So suppose I want to dot walk on the collar field, I can choose the collar and I'll click on that plus icon nearby the collar, click on that plus, and if I want to see the caller name, then select the name. Now if I choose this, and now it's showing me. Now I have selected it. Now if I want to print this, assigning to myself. Now you can see it's displaying the name. It's just because I dot walked. It's just because I dot walked in the business rule. So you can see current dot caller ID dot name. Going back to the presentation. So that's all related to the part 1. I'll cover the remaining part of the server side scripting in the upcoming parts. Thanks for your time.